What's up, everybody? This is your boy Lefty Chef Guy, bringing you another installment of Cosmic Kitchen. And today we're going to go over poultry. So what we have today is we have a whole chicken. This is a roaster chicken. Roaster chickens are usually around mid-age. So 0 to 6 months usually is fryer chickens. They're smaller, the meat's a little bit more tender. This roaster is between 6 months and about a year old. It's about how they age them. Anything between a year and 2 years. You got your larger roasters and your capons. Capons usually are 2 years or older. They're oldest chickens. The meat's a little bit more gamier. The skin's a little bit tougher. This is a good roasting chicken. They're fine for frying, but typically you want a smaller, younger fryer chicken with that. So we're going to show you today how to break down a whole chicken.
Show it to that camera as well.
Alright, so this is a whole chicken with all of its beautiful, beautiful parts. We're gonna open this up and we're gonna drain some of this liquid off. We're actually gonna get rid of all of this liquid. We don't need this. We're gonna let that drain a bit. Alright, look at that big, beautiful bird. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to section it off and how to get your different cuts out of your bird. So this is the belly of the bird. It's your breasts, your legs, and your thighs, and your wing joints, right? So if you look at it, everything is pretty symmetrical, right down the middle. You're gonna have a pretty symmetrical bird, right? So what you want to do is you want to find that middle breastbone. It usually runs from the bottom of the neck, just like on our bodies, from right the bottom of the neck, all the way through to the bottom of the breast. And what you want to do is you want to take your knife and you want to go on either side of that breastplate bone, and you just kind of want to make a nice insertion and drag it just like that. And you can take your thumb and kind of feel in there. You're going to feel the top of the bone up here. You're going to kind of clean some of that meat back. Clean some of that meat back off the inside. Keep going through it. And what you want to do is you want to follow your carcass all the way around. See that wishbone right there? You just want to follow all the way through that around the carcass. Keep making smaller incisions. Now most people use a boning knife. I like to use my trusty chef knife only because I have more flexibility. I've been doing it so long that I kind of know. So right there, you're going to run into this bone. You're going to run into that breastbone right there. What you want to do with that breastbone, you just want to slice right through that. Right? Pop that joint out so that's the chicken wing joint from the inside. You want to go around that, cut that tendon right there. Roll that skin, that. When you get down to the leg portion, so now I got my breast and my wing mostly off. When you get down to the leg portion, you just want to pop out, you want to pop that joint out. Pop that hip joint out. Right there, you want to get under that. Make sure you get all the way through the skin. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. That way you can get through all of these. And then you have half of your chicken deboned. Now you want to do the same thing with the other side. You want to remember we got that wishbone. So that wishbone is big on your collar right there. You kind of want to do the same thing. You want to feel the other side. There's that breastplate. Kind of want to slice right through that. Same thing. Now, sometimes I like to put my knife down and just run my finger through the meat along the bone, so that way you're getting all of the meat. You don't want to leave anything there. You're going to leave enough there as it is. You can just kind of work your fingers all the way through. When you get to that wishbone, you can just kind of break that with your hands. This is the chicken tender. So when someone says chicken tender, that's what this is. It's a piece of meat that lies right under the breast. That's the most tender cut of meat right there. That's what a chicken tender should be made out of. As opposed to just cutting up some breast and deep frying breast. The actual chicken tender actually exists. Same thing, you want to run your knife along the carcass. Make sure you get all the meat. Get to that bone. Pop that bone out. Get under there. Same thing. Keep going around. Make sure you get rid of that back skin. Someone's getting in trouble today. So what you should be left with is a nice carcass, a little bit of skin on the back rib, backbone. Now, what we use this for is for stocks. We use this for stocks and things like that. Some people use it for things like dirty rice. A lot of times they use the heart and kidneys and things like that. This to make good stocks. We save that. We never throw anything away. We use everything in our kitchen. All right, so now you got two halves. You got two halves of the chicken, no carcass. So nice and easy. Just follow the skin and the flesh. You should be able to pull the legs apart from the breast, nice and easy, just like that. Right now, so now we got quarters of chicken. Boom. Got your breast and your wing. Breast and your wing. Got your leg and your thigh, your leg and your thigh. Right? So we can go even further than that because people like chicken wings, some people like thighs, some people like legs. So what we're going to do is let's get some of this stuff out already. You want to keep your board clean, or you don't want too many things on your board clutter your board at one time. You want to work on one thing at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to debone and deskin the breast and the wing. So with the wing, same thing, that bone right there. So a lot of times you'll see restaurants have a larger wing, sometimes they have a smaller wing. A lot of times that's part of the breast meat. So what you want to do is you want to go right around that bone, and just kind of take a little bit of meat with it, and boom, there's your nice beautiful chicken wing. Let's fold it up with some jerk seasoning on that. Tuck behind his head. 1, 2. There's a nice chicken wing for you. Now with the breast, sometimes you're going to have pieces of the wishbone still stuck in there. You can just push that out with your fingers. Pull that right out. Nice and easy. Now you have one chicken breast. And if you want, you can fry it skin on, or you can simply just run your finger under the skin and between the skin and the breast. Now, with birds aren't like beef or pork, where there's a ton of fat inside the meat. There's some fat in the meat. You see a little bit right here, a little bit here, and a little bit on the edges. But most of the fat and flavoring comes from the skin. That's where a lot of the fat's going to be in. So if you're trying to eat a little bit healthier, you want to remove the skin, get rid of that, or you can use it for stocks. It works for stocks. Then you press up a little bit for stock stuff, and there you go. You have a nice, beautiful chicken breast, and then you can fillet it, do all kinds of creative things with it. Fillet it, make strips, you want to do strips for kids, things like that, right? Beautiful breast. Now leg and thigh, same thing. Some people like legs, some people like thighs. Things change, right? Same thing with the leg and the thigh. So you got a bone that runs from the thigh through to the leg, same way your leg works, right? What you want to do is to separate those. Is you want to identify where that bone is. You want to see where that bone articulates at, and you kind of just want to get in between the two joints. You got to find where the joints is at, and get between those. I make an incision, and then I break it. And then once I see that bone pops out, then I can cut right through. Bang. Nice and easy. There's your drum. There's your thigh. Beautiful. Beautiful thigh. Boneless, skinless, same thing. Peel that skin back. Trim it up. And this has a little bit more fat content because obviously chickens walk on their legs, so they use a lot more of the muscle. So typically whenever the muscle is used more, it's going to be a tougher cut of meat, and it's going to have a lot more fat and muscle structure to it, which also translates into a lot more flavor, right? So even with this, you can debone this. Here's that bone runs to the length. You can get your fingers in there or a knife, whatever you prefer, and just kind of separate the bone from the meat in certain points with that, right apart. So straighten it down a little bit, that meat off that bone. So they talk about when they say get the meat off the bone, right? And then you can pop it out. Mostly the tendons is what keeps it stuck at the end. You can see that tendon that allows it to bend and articulate. It's the same way our joints work. And there you have nice, skinless, boneless chicken thigh. And the same thing, you use this for frying. These are good for you saute them, pan sear them, The same way you would do a chicken breast, just a little bit more flavor. Alright? Here we are, we have the drum. So I also want to show you something a little bit. This is a color technique for if you want something a little pretty, a little presentation. Again, there's that tenderloin again. This is where the tenderloin hides at. The tenderloin hides right under the breast. It is the seldom used muscle, that's why it's so tender. Hence the tenderloin. But the texture right there with a little bit tender. Just peel that right off, it comes off pretty easily. You're left per chicken, you're left with 2 beautiful tenderloins. So I'm going to show you how to French the bone, as they would call it. So what you want to do is you want to take a whole breast, wing still intact, and you want to kind of cut it at the joint. You want to cut it at the second joint, the middle joint. Just cut the skin a little bit. You want to kind of want to break it. Speaking of break bones and not go to jail. And once you pop it open, you're going to see that the bone pops out. You just want to cut that, cut right through that, cut the rest of the way through that. All right? And we're going to do the same technique we did for deboning the thigh. You're just going to kind of, slide your knife around so that we can get some separation around the wing. And then you want to, there you go. And then you kind of want to just peel the meat away from the bone. Nice and easy. Be very careful when you're doing this and not cut yourself. I've been doing this a very long time, so don't want to do what I do. Do what I say, don't do what I do. Get all that stuff, get all that nice and clean, nice and clean. You can even chop that off a little bit, right? Chop that little bit off. So that way you're left with a nice, beautiful breast, skin on presentation. And then what you can do is you salt, pepper, herb, whatever seasonings you want. You pan sear on both sides, finish in the oven, and the presentation will be a beautiful, beautiful piece. In the future, we'll go into that once we get into cooking techniques and things like that, and heat transfer and those types of things. So that's why I want to kind of give you the basics for now, and then we'll get to the big, heavy science of the stuff, which is the part that I love the most. It's the science of cooking and why we do things and how things are affected when we change the composition and chemical lead and all those other things by adding heat or subtracting heat or adding cold and things like that. We'll get into that later. But for now, I just want to give you guys the basics on things that you can do to upgrade your life and your lifestyle. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Subscribe, smash, hit those likes, all that old good stuff. See you next time on Lefty Chef Cosmic Kitchen.